Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 40 of the Elbow Nudge podcast. This episode is brought to you by low cut tank tops and high waisted pants.
And the word kumite, kumite, kumite,
Kumite.
kumite.
Or Chong Li. Chong Li.
You're
We're talking
next.
Bloodsport.
We're talking Bloodsport. Did you know the theme song is done by Stan Bush?
Who's that?
That's the guy. Do you remember that night that I sent you the Transformers theme song? You got the touch. You got the power.
Yeah, that's good. Is that him?
That's him.
That's pretty good.
I love Stan Bush. I love everything Stan Bush does. He's such a powerful singer. Everything
did
he
you know
touches
this going
is hype.
in?
No, I didn't. I actually, I watched this movie back in January. We should also disclose that this is based on a recommendation that we're watching this movie.
Yeah, I do want to say that. This is recommended to us from Josh. Josh, thank you for the recommendation.
Best friend, best listener. Thank you, Josh,
Best
for
friend, best listener.
this recommendation. It's such a classic. And, we're still in the 80s. We're in the 80s mood.
We're not leaving. That's it.
We're not leaving.
This is our new zone.
Exactly. We're going to enjoy the 80s while we have it. And we're in the 80s zone with this 80s. Would you call this a martial arts movie? So like an action film? Yeah.
It's martial arts.
And so we're in the 80s martial arts territory. We've got the wonderful rock synth music. We've got Jean-Claude Van Damme at his finest.
You can't escape that synth.
You can't escape that synth, and I love it.
Now, when you say Jean-Claude Van Damme at his finest, what do you mean? Finest acting, finest physique?
I think physique, yeah. I think his acting gets a little better because is this his first film? No?
I think so.
We're
going to have to double check that.
Okay. I found it. It's his first starring role. I do have the Jean-Claude Van Damme Wikipedia article open.
So you just had it ready. You were asking that question just knowing. I
was asking it in the air to you.
Okay, I got you. We don't have to pretend, Caroline. If you know it, just let me know.
I also kind of asked it to myself, like, Caroline, was this his?
I missed the answer. Is it his first?
This is his first starring role. All of the films he had been in prior, which is about 4 of them, he was either uncredited, he was a minor role, a cameo, and by cameo, an extra, I should say.
Yeah.
And then he did a film called No Retreat, No Surrender in 86, and he was the antagonist. But Bloodsport is his first, like, starring role. That's his first main role. But I think at his best is in, like, physique. He looks amazing.
When's the last time you saw Kickboxer?
I haven't seen Kickboxer.
I think he still got it better in Kickboxer.
I saw Street Fighter, and I saw...
Oh, yeah, he's Bison, right?
Yeah, wait. No, he's Guile. Guile?
Is he? Yeah, Guile, you're right.
He's Guile.
Good choice.
He's Guile, and then... Well, he is in... I'm looking at, like, his filmography of the films that I've seen of his. I've seen Double Team. I've seen... Street Fighter, and then I've seen, is it Double Impact? I think I've seen Double Impact, but I have not seen Kickboxer.
What about Expendables?
I don't count it. I saw Expendables, and I'm saying that with air quotes because it was on TV one day and it was in the background. I wasn't paying attention to it, and it had commercials when he came and everything. Up? Yes.
Okay. Close enough.
I did see him in Expendables.
I saw the movie and I forgot it. So we're probably around the same level of
knowledge
memory.
Range.
Yeah.
Of Expendables.
Yeah.
But this is the first film I think I've seen where he's that I was paying attention to. Obviously for the podcast and stuff, but a lot of the other ones were like they just happened to be on TV and I was browsing channels because I couldn't sleep at night and I was like, "Oh, okay, Street Fighter. Let's go." Kind of thing like that. But
this is the first time I saw this movie with a functioning brain. So the only thing I remembered from this movie was the white mat and fighting at Kumite.
When was the first time you saw this movie?
Oh, I was a kid. I don't remember. Why?
Well, because like I was thinking how whenever you say like, "Oh, I remember the white mat and stuff," because I saw this movie for the first time this year, in January,
Oh yeah,
because Josh wanted to see this for his birthday. Josh, I know you're listening.
January
And
birthday.
January birthday.
What day?
And he
Call it
came
out.
over. I'm
Wait,
not
what
going to
day?
call it out.
Well, why not?
I don't
I
know
have
if
a lot of
Josh.
January birthdays.
I don't know
All
if
right, that's
Josh
fine.
wants me to call it out. I'll tell
All right,
you
that's
after
fine.
the
That's fine.
pod.
All right.
But anyway, Josh came over and we asked him, "Hey, let's just have a movie night." And he was like, "Yeah." We said, "You pick the movie." So we told him like anything. We spare no expense. We'll rent the movie or we'll buy it, things like that. You just pick any movie. And so he was like, "I want us to see Bloodsport. It's one of my favorite movies." And so I saw it for the first time this past January.
I got to talk to Josh because I have a lot of questions after watching this movie.
Well, what kind of questions?
I need to know why it's one of his favorite movies.
Is it not one of yours?
No, but not because I didn't like it, but I did think it was gonna be very different and maybe a little better, to be honest. But it wasn't necessarily bad. But I just really want to know now, like if he's into fighting movies. So far, I know he likes Kung Pao and he likes Bloodsport, so definitely martial arts. But I wonder if he likes like Rocky or Southpaw or Never Back Down or anything like that.
There's a common denominator with those films. We got to ask him.
And since we're bringing this up, if anybody else wants to email any recommendations, put a little bit of a context of why you want to recommend the movie, I would like that too.
Give us give us a motive and your recommendation.
No, just out of curiosity. You don't need to put it, but I'm just curious to know. I'm going to have to investigate later.
Email us at elbownudgepod@gmail.com.
Thank you. So there is a lot around this movie, Caroline.
Yeah, a lot.
Do you know what I'm going to bring up?
I hope I know what you're going to bring up.
I don't even know if we should start here because this is like even more than the movie.
Okay, if you want to hold off, we'll talk about the movie first.
We'll talk about the movie first, fine.
Okay, so did you know this movie is based on a true story?
All right, that's where I was going. Frank Dukes. Frank Dukes. But this is when the real story starts.
Creator of the Dukes to You.
What? Yes. This is much more wilder than what we saw in the movie. Did you look into this?
Not as much.
No,
I didn't. Well, I have a little bit of info here. Just a tiny bit.
All right.
Now, the movie was said to be a true story, but Frank Dukes has made a lot of claims over the years. He had said that he worked as an undercover CIA operative and that he, had all these world records, that he competed in these tournaments. However, CIA, they have, even though they're like secret, they have said, "Oh, we never had Frank Dukes as part of our."
They said Frank who?
Frank who? They're like Frank Dukes, Frank Hooks, more like Frank Hoax.
Yes.
According to the Freedom of Information Act, which is how we now have like public records on public officials, he only served in the U.S. Marine Corps Reserves. He never went overseas, as he had claimed that he went to Southeast Asia. And the CIA has no record of working with him. And his whole claim to the personal brand of Dukes-ryu ninjutsu is a complete fabrication, according to the U.S. military.
And to add to that, he said he's won a Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
And to prove it, he posted a picture online of him in uniform with his decorated medals. And this information, because I got 3 sources here. 2 from YouTube, 1 from Wikipedia. 1 YouTube video. This YouTube video that I was watching, breaking it down. If you guys want to look it up. The title of the video, if you just type in Frank Dukes, you're going to get these videos.
Frank Dukes.
Excuse me?
Frank Dux.
It was Dukes.
I know, but in the movie they call him
Hey, all right. This guy can make up stories about himself, but let's put some respect on his name, right?
Let's put some respect on the guy Jean-Claude Van Damme played.
Exactly right. So this YouTube video that I saw, The Fictitious Life of Frank Dukes.
That's a really cool name, a title for a YouTube video.
Yeah. And it's not long. It's not like a huge 5-hour video essay. It's just like 10 minutes. But it breaks down if you go on Wikipedia, they also break down what this video is explaining of notable claims that he made that were denied. And the one that you mentioned, how long he served, and that he never went overseas. He said that he won this Medal of Honor. To prove it, like nobody believed him. To prove it, he uploaded that picture of him in uniform with his medals. And according to what people saw, I think it was like decorated the wrong way, like incorrectly. And also the Medal of Honor was just for the Army and not for the Marine, which is what he was supposed to be in. He later started backtracking that, and he said that it was a Halloween costume and that he never mentioned anything about a Medal of Honor or him getting a Medal of Honor.
Somebody give him a bell for all that backpedaling.
Another one is a trophy. He has a picture of a trophy that he received from winning the Kumite.
Kumite.
And this trophy he bought himself from a trophy store. I took a picture with it. Yeah.
Can you imagine telling the guy like behind the counter to engrave it? Like, I want you to engrave it, Kumite champion.
Yeah, undefeated Kumite champion.
Frank Dukes.
I'm like, whatever you want, sir. It's still gonna be $59.99.
They say you want it, Frank Dux? No, Dukes.
Dukes. How do you spell that? D-U-X? So Ducks.
Ducks.
No, Dukes. So next guy, Richard Robinson. This was a guy that Jackson is supposed to be based off.
Oh, okay.
The bearded guy, long hair.
Yeah.
Big dude. This is supposed to be based off Richard Robinson, the real guy. And according to Dukes, they met at Kumite. Not playing arcade, I don't think. I think they actually met in the underground Kumite. Yeah. And he said, yeah, you can ask him yourself. So when they do ask Richard, he says, yeah, we met at the Kumite. But then later, people started investigating and find out that they went to the same high school, and that's where they met.
Oh my gosh!
When they go back to Richard, he says, "Oh yeah, that's true. I was just going along with the story because
going along with the hype."
Yeah, because that's his friend, so he was just going along with the story.
That whole scene at the end with the "I love you, my friend," that wasn't fake.
That was the only part that was real.
That was true. That was the true part of this true story.
And then the final false claim. This one I'm not too sure of. If I had more time, I would have dug deeper into it. But Senzo Tanaka, his instructor that teaches him in the movie, I don't think he's entirely real. I think people still have doubts that he even existed at all.
Mr. Tanaka.
So
is it fake?
It is possible.
Never existed.
Dukes, his claims were at first, I guess when he was asked at first, like, where's his whereabouts? He says he doesn't know. He doesn't know where he is now.
He's like the wind.
And then later he said that he died while he was in LA.
Whoa.
I don't know what year, but he said he died while he was in LA. And then when he was asked later, he said that he died in Japan. So
this guy can't keep his record straight.
And apparently, Senzo Tanaka is a name that is the name of the ninja commander from a James Bond book. You only live twice.
Oh,
so
Dukes.
Oh yeah, and for every like military thing that he said or CIA thing he said, whatever name that he threw out there, like those people denied it. So
wow.
Yeah. Very interesting web of lies this guy has.
So anyway, Bloodsport is the real true story
based on events.
A true story.
Based on events that was told by Frank Dukes.
Based on the real experiences of Frank Dukes.
I think there's a little bit more we have to explore with this.
Uh-huh.
Just a little bit more. The 4 world records that he holds that they show at
Oh,
the end
yeah,
of the
yeah.
movie.
Fastest knockout, fastest punch knockout, fastest
Yes.
incapacitation
Fastest
knockout,
kick with a knockout,
fastest
and then most consecutive knockouts in a single tournament. So let's start from the beginning. Fastest knockout was 3.2 seconds.
There was one that was yeah,
This one's
3.2 seconds.
believable. This one's believable. It's been done in the UFC all the time. So,
And then
but here's the thing: Kumite is like Fight Club, right?
yeah,
There's
you're
no
not.
footage. It's super underground,
But when he's making that claim, is he making that claim within the
self-proclaimed.
Kumite, or is he making that claim just in general, like in regular competitions and stuff?
It
Like,
says world record in the movie.
yeah, but
World Guinness is on this.
Guinness Book has
Guinness
Frank
YouTube
Dukes
channel.
in their book, right?
He's got to be, because this. If you think about this, well, okay. Here's my other source. There's another video from the channel Viking Samurai. This guy interviews Frank Dukes. Like, he gets him on to interview him and asks him all these questions, and you're gonna get a lot of dodgy answers, to be honest. But some of them seem probable. He was saying that, yeah, it was super underground. It was never to be for the public. They didn't sell tickets. Every instructor that was training their fighters, they always kept it on the low because they didn't want any publicity or anything. So they asked him, how do you get these records? And they said whoever took the footage, I don't know if it was Black Belt Magazine, but they're related somehow. I think they're the ones who publish the records. But they went off of the footage, apparently, and they counted, or they just analyzed the frames of how his fists and his legs were moving, and that's how they came to these numbers, which I don't think is all that reliable, because this is 80s camera work and they're
It's
not
not like
catching every single frame.
yeah, it's not like what we have with the Olympics now, where the Olympics technology is so advanced and there's like hundreds of cameras following these athletes, and so whenever they break a world record, they could verify it right then and there by analyzing it.
Yeah, this isn't like the slow-mo guys. This isn't Mythbusters with the measuring wall behind them. I don't think you
Mhm.
could tell these numbers. But here's what I find funny, because I wrote these down, and I don't know if this caught you off guard like it did me, but it says the fastest punch with a knockout is 0.12 seconds.
Yeah.
And then the fastest kick with a knockout is 72 miles per hour. So one is recorded in time and the other one is recorded in speed.
How do you record it in speed?
I don't know. They
Why
can't do it with those.
why didn't they record it in time? What's different?
I don't know. That was what was confusing me. And I don't know which was more accurate to base your data off of.
How do you fly your foot 72 miles per hour?
I think you could. I think there are machines that could do that. Like if you hit a punching pad, there's like some that are hooked up to like analyze
I
your
think
speed and power.
if I had to hedge any bets, I would bet it on the punch, because if you punch someone super fast, like 1, 2, 3, like that's still kind of slow to throw a punch. So I actually believe that record is too long. That record's probably been
0.12
broken
seconds?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at fastest knockout. But fastest punch with a knockout is point. Okay, yeah, that's fake.
0.12 seconds.
That's fake.
Faster than a blink of an eye.
Yeah. That's faster than the camera in The Hobbit can record those frames per second.
Yeah, even Peter Jackson can't believe these numbers here.
Fastest kick with a knockout, 72 miles per hour.
That I have no idea how they came to that, because this was on film, right?
Yeah.
So
Must be.
how many frames do you have to calculate that it went 72 miles per hour? I don't know. And then there's a whole thing about the film being lost. Like no one has really seen footage.
All right. What are we doing here, Dukes? How?
And then the last one, the most consecutive knockouts in a single tournament, 56 knockouts. So the way he explains this is that the tournament, just like the movie, it lasted 3 days. So in one day, you could fight up to 20 people.
Whoa.
So going into the third day, he could have 56 consecutive knockouts. But this would make him, with all his world records, this would make him the most dangerous man that's ever lived. That's the way I see it.
That's how he sees it.
Unless he was fighting like terribly underprepared, just children, just like white belts or something. I don't know how he could do this.
He was fighting the Hollywood executives. He just knocked them all out. And that's how he got the credentials.
He was knocking out the ref.
Yeah. They were
knocking
like,
out the audience.
He goes to the Hollywood production company and he's like, I can do this. And they're like, prove it. And he does it on them. And that's how he got the green light to make this movie.
That's another thing that I really should have looked up. Like, after all those claims, how did he manage to make this movie?
It's kind of assumed in some of the sources that I could find that he lied his way into Hollywood. He made these up and there was really no way to fact check like the way we have it now. So they just kind of believed him. But you want to know what I think is the most outrageous claim?
What's that?
Is that Frank Dukes met Jean-Claude Van Damme when he was first casted to play Dukes in this film, and said that Van Damme was not in good shape.
Impossible.
That boggles my mind. That he meets Jean-Claude Van Damme and says, oh, this guy's not in good shape.
So he became a sculpted Greek statue like in a year?
So what he did was he put, in Tom Cruise fashion, he put Jean-Claude Van Damme into a 3-month training program that he designed himself. And Van Damme, who at this point, yes, he's not an accomplished actor, but he is a world champion martial artist.
Yes, yeah.
So, and he called it the hardest training of his life.
Van Damme?
Yeah. But I'm thinking about that now with all this information about Frank Hoax.
Oh.
How do you sit there?
How about Frank Flukes?
Right, how do you sit there and make Jean-Claude Van Damme prove himself to you and put him through such a rigorous training experience? I would be so upset if I was Van Damme.
I don't believe he went through this.
What, that Van Damme didn't go through this, or that?
I think he was already movie ready.
I want to believe that. But then what separates the truth from the lie?
Whoever believes it.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah. But that's on top of all this, he's already the coolest guy in the world. Why does he need to say that Van Damme looked like garbage until he started training him?
He wanted to have that just another credit, like, I trained Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Right, on top of the other 100 accomplishments that no human could achieve. We didn't even mention his undefeated record. 329 fights.
Yeah, that's not possible, right?
329 in the span of 5 years?
That's not possible.
I don't even know.
You'd have to fight almost every day. Or almost every weekend or something.
He said he was doing that in the interview. He said he was fighting every weekend. And then they asked him, why did he retire? Because after 1980, because he fought from 75 to 80. And they asked him, why did he retire? Because around that time, he would have been around 25. So still in your peak of fighting years. And he said that he was ready to move on to the teaching phase at that point. So, I don't know.
I don't know either. But I do know that Bloodsport, to this day, is Jean-Claude Van Damme's favorite movie that he's done.
It's his first.
It's his
first. It's gotta be
special. And it's not the last time that he worked with Frank Dukes. because Frank Dukes was also the fight choreographer for Lionheart, which is another Jean-Claude Van
Yeah.
Damme movie, and he's the story co-writer for The Quest. That movie came out in '96. It's another Van Damme film.
So he's good to work with, at least.
I think he always wanted to work in movies and specifically martial arts films, and created those credentials to get into Hollywood.
I'm trying to think because I remember he opened up his own schools, like Duke's School of Ninjutsu.
Oh my gosh,
He
he's
didn't
like
really call it that, but
he's like Cobra Kai.
he's Cobra Kai in real life. He wrote these books about his, the secret man, his CIA missions.
Mercy is for the weak.
So what is he doing all this? When does he have time to produce these movies and work with Jean-Claude?
He's just that much
Amazing.
of a bionic man.
He's amazing.
The man is nonstop.
How much of this do you think is made up, and how much of it do you think is real?
It's all real. No.
To Frank Dukes.
To Frank Dukes is. This might be a little bit of a pull back the curtain moment, too much of a breaking the fourth wall, but I originally wanted to go into this movie with the same idea as Morbius. Like, let's just believe this is all real. Let's just believe. Let's just believe that all of this really happened. Why not?
Until the stats come up at the end, it's pretty straightforward because we don't know that.
It's kind of funny. Like, I remember while I was watching it and something incredulous would happen, Josh would be like, remember, this is a real movie. This is based on a real story.
Does Josh believe this? Are you Team Dukes, Josh? That's what I need to know.
But, it's all kind of like, oh, okay, Hollywood handed up. All right, okay, this is true. And then you get to the end where it's like fastest punch knockout, 0.12
seconds.
Fastest knockout with a kick, 72 miles per hour.
I'm going to look it up, Caroline. Hold on. How fast is a blink?
How fast?
It's a blink.
A blink.
100 milliseconds.
So 0.1, right?
I want to agree with you on that.
How fast is a blink in seconds?
Perfect.
It's 0.1 and give it an average blink is between 0.1 and 0.4 seconds. Faster
I don't know.
than you can
somebody
blink.
Somebody push that fast? I need to know.
Faster than you could blink, Tony.
So his fist could extend. It could extend.
It could
all the
lie
way out
dormant,
to someone's face.
And then kabam.
Dormant? Why is it dormant?
I mean, like, I'm just thinking about him. I'm thinking of him hanging at his side and then he just quacha.
You don't think he has it ready to go, locked and loaded? You think he punches from the hip?
He has hip fire on.
I need to know if this is possible.
Frank Dukes has proven that.
Is it normal to punch that fast or anywhere close to that fast?
Let's look up what's the fastest punch.
You're gonna see Frank Dukes world record.
What's the fastest punch ever thrown?
All right, look it up.
Oh my god, it's given to me in miles per hour.
All right, let's convert that to time.
Keith Liddell holds the fastest punch in the Guinness World Records at 45 miles per hour.
And Frank Dukes kicks 72 miles per hour.
Miles per hour.
Look up what's the fastest
in
kick.
Seconds. Oh, I'm going to need a calculator for this. Okay, from 45 miles per hour. Oh, wow. Okay.
What's up?
45. I found a converter, a unitconverter.net. 45 miles per hour converts to, this is like 0.1 second.
Whoa.
Look,
I believe that.
I'm going to put the whole decimal system in the Discord. Look at that.
I believe that. That's 0.01.
Yeah. That's actually a 1. That's 1. Oh, I'm sorry. That's 1%.
Yeah.
I'm doing the... Never mind. Yeah, 0.01
So this is faster than Frank Dukes.
Faster than a blink.
How's it? All right, I don't know anything about physics, I guess. And I passed my physics class too. So a blink of an eye, you could throw your fist.
This is recorded.
Yeah, I believe it.
The fastest kick in the world is held by soccer player Francisco Marin.
Oh, that makes sense.
80.1 miles per hour.
Nice.
So 80.1. That registers to 0.02 seconds.
Okay. So yeah, because it's almost double.
So
it's almost double the punch. It was 42, you said.
I guess
42 miles per hour.
Yeah. I guess if you want to say, I guess it's believable, but that also means that Mr. Frank Dukes with his 72 miles per hour is incorrect, because Guinness is over here saying it's actually 80.
Well, he had it at the time then. World record at the time that he kicked between 1975 and 1980.
So he was beat. I wonder, did Guinness ever record that? Or
No.
it's just his?
They weren't allowed.
All right.
Into Fight Club.
I
think it could blink faster than
Frank knows.
Than that.
It's not. It's 0.1 second. I think you're underestimating how fast that is.
I could blink my eye pretty fast.
0.1 is pretty fast.
0.01 is even faster.
You want to beat the punch with a blink?
Yeah, you don't think you should be able to blink faster than someone could throw their fist?
I don't think so, no. Not unless your eyes are like
it doesn't have to travel that much distance. It's especially my eyes, since I look like Garfield. It's not traveling that far. I'm already cutting half the distance. I think I could beat 0.01.
I need you to film yourself blinking.
I'm going to put a stopwatch.
And then I'll measure the frames. I'll go frames per second.
To make sure I'm not cheating, I'll put a stopwatch up to the camera and make sure I'm not speeding up the video, and then do a quick blink.
You got to go miles per hour.
And then I'll have you convert it for me. This was a strange movie, I will say. And I forgot to mention, the scene that I thought was in the movie, I think at some point somebody was supposed to say, in here you're going to be fighting the best of the best. I've never heard that. So I think I made that up.
You just imagined it.
I thought that's what this movie was about, even though technically it is, but no one ever says it.
We haven't really talked much about the movie. We need to...
Yeah, today we'll be talking about Bloodsport.
The 1988 martial arts film starring Jean-Claude Van Damme in his first leading role.
What did you think?
I like it. I like this movie. I do think, though, that I should preface the first act, maybe, the first, getting to the Kumite takes too long. But once we're in the Kumite, I love it. I love the, what's it called? The montage of different fighters.
Yeah. Multiple fights back to back to back, different fighting styles.
I love it. Yeah. I love that they all had their own like unique outfits. The music is so good. Like I said, I love Stan Bush. It really is a product of the times. I love how kind of hammy and campy it is as a martial arts film.
Oh, it is so campy.
I love when Jean-Claude Van Damme is like kind of blinded at the end when he's fighting. What's his name? Chong Li?
Chong Li, yeah.
Chong Li. When he's fighting Chong Li and he's just going, ah, his eyes are super wide.
Oh, his yelling is iconic.
I love it. I also love the commitment to accuracy. I don't know if this is how Frank Dukes actually talks, but I love that the teenager they casted to play young Frank Dukes has the same accent as Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No, they're just committing. They're not committing to Frank Dukes. They're committing to Jean-Claude. Try to match that accent.
I thought that was so funny that the teenager, I couldn't take him seriously, who would be like, but why won't you train me? And I'd be like, oh my gosh.
The scene where he's protecting his friend from the bullies. I feel like he was so checked out. Like, I don't even know if he wanted to be on set making that movie. He didn't even put his hands up. He was fighting how you explain Frank Dukes to fight, punching from the hips. He did not put his dukes up.
Ah, come on, ducks. It's dukes. Oh, like put up your dukes. I like it.
Yeah, I was confused by that too because I was watching it with subtitles and he was saying dukes and it's spelled ducks. And I thought, who has it wrong? Is Jean-Claude saying it wrong? Is it really ducks?
I think it is dukes.
It's
I mean,
Dukes. It is Dukes.
Dukes was part of the making of this film. I think he would tell them, "Oh, hey, I'm Frank Dukes."
It is, yeah, it is Dukes. But it's spelled ducks. Just like Redux. It's not Redukes.
Redux.
Yeah. But anyway. Yeah, my favorite scene was the final fight with Chong Li. And it is very cheesy, and I'm okay with that. But it was fun. And my favorite scene was when he had to go back to his blindfold training.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what?
It all comes
I like
full circle.
it. Yeah. And nobody called him out for using weird chalk eye poison.
Yeah, he had like pocket sand. What the heck?
Yeah, pocket powder.
I was like,
Crushed it up.
that should be against the rules. That's not fair.
Hey, in Kumite, there are no rules.
That's true. That's true. You got me there.
I mean, Frank Dukes, Jean-Claude, he even did a low blow.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, and that's never legal in any fight.
Wow.
But it is in Kumite, so anything goes.
But, overall, it's a pretty good flick. I definitely think, though, this movie is a lot stronger when you watch it with friends. Like I said, I first saw this.
Oh yeah, I think all movies are.
Yeah, absolutely. But especially a movie like this that, really campy, nice singing music that I fight to survive. Oh, I love it. But like all those really awesome moments are just enhanced when you have friends. And watching it by myself, I was like, where are you, doctor? I was like, where are my friends?
Where are you, Josh?
Where are you, Josh? It's just, I enjoyed it so much more when I saw it the first time. And when I saw it by myself, I was like, ah.
I gotta say it. I remember Bloodsport as a classic, as one of those movies you just have to see. But I didn't get that feeling watching it with a fully functioning brain.
It's because
it was weird. It was very weird.
Friends. I still like a lot about it. I love the fashion. Like you mentioned earlier, the low cut tank tops. It's so classic.
Jean-Claude always rocks those low cut tank tops and high waisted pants. The combination.
Yes. When he took off his jacket, I was like, oh yeah, we get to see the whole look.
He has. I wonder if he chose his own wardrobe.
I bet he
for
did.
This movie.
He must have.
He has that banana yellow blazer.
Oh yeah.
But I have to say, I gotta bring it up. This movie's a lot like Kickboxer.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. This movie came first, obviously. But I don't know what they were trying to do with Kickboxer, but it just felt like, hey, let's do this again, but we'll change things around.
Huh.
Because they're also on like some weird underground fight tournament. It takes place in Thailand. And Jean-Claude is training his brother in the movie. His brother's a fighter. And he fights this guy that's undefeated. But he fights so dirty and brutal. And in the fight, his brother gets hit in the back so bad that he becomes paralyzed. And Jean-Claude, he decides that he wants to fight him out of revenge. Like, he has to take him down. So then he does his training. And there's a lot of similarities because I wish you saw the movie. I really think Kickboxer is... I gotta ask Josh if he saw Kickboxer because I like it better personally, but I haven't seen it in a while. I just remember it more. But he has a low cut tank top and high waisted pants in the movie. He has a weird torture machine that stretches out your legs and arms in this movie. He has that in Kickboxer, except he's laying down and he's like stretching out his legs. I think the instructor is just like pulling this pulley system with a rope and is just stretching him out to make him do the split. And also in that movie, another test of his might is dropping a coconut on his stomach from really high up.
And the coconut breaks?
It's not supposed to break. He's just supposed to brace for impact from the coconut.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm looking up the movie right now. Not the plot, but Stan Bush also does the music in Kickboxer.
Oh, there it is.
Another crossover. Stan Bush is just following Jean-Claude Van Damme with his electric guitar.
Yes.
When he wrote The Touch, he was actually singing about Jean-Claude Van Damme. I would believe it in my head.
I also wish I brought up Kickboxer because I wish the motivation for this movie was a little stronger to get to Kumite.
Kumite.
Because he finds out that his friend is dead, right? Or I'm not really sure exactly how that happened, but yeah, he went to go pay his respects, and then he just wants to start training again.
In Bloodsport, it's that his friend has died, and that was his sensei's like hope to represent him in the Kumite.
Right.
Well, also, like, you know, that's his son, so he's like, I lost my son, my legacy. And I guess Dukes in the movie is like, hey, I'll represent you. That way you don't lose face in the Kumite as a member of the Tanaka
But I don't think
clan.
he ever mentions the Kumite at all. Like, I was trying to listen out for it, but you tell me, did I miss it? Because I was waiting for him to say, I'm here to fight in the Kumite, like, teach me and I'll fight under your name. Something like that. But I don't think he ever mentions it.
He doesn't say it in those words, but it's pretty much implied that the reason he's there is to learn how to fight to represent him in the Kumite.
It was implied, but by what? By our knowledge of what the movie is going to do, or by what? Because I did not see it in the movie.
If you've seen it the first time and watched it the second time, you know why he's there.
Exactly. And you saw it a second time. I saw it a first time.
But I feel like he does say like let me represent you, or like let me go and fight in your stead or something. Or in what's his friend's name? Shingo. He's like, let me fight in his stead.
I don't remember any dialogue like that because I even wrote down, is he training for no reason? I mean, obviously it's just a good discipline to know, but it's not until when he first mentions the Kumite at all, I think is with, I don't even remember who. The CIA? No.
I don't think
I don't remember who he first says it to.
Until he gets to, I don't think he says it until he gets to Jackson, and Jackson's like, are you here for the Kumite? And he's like, I am.
Or maybe it's at the end of his training. He says, I'm going to go to Hong Kong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I'm done training you. I've passed on all my wisdom. A rarity in these movies. I've never seen a training complete.
Yeah. He got lesson number 3.
Yeah. Ryan Johnson, take notes. But yeah, maybe that's just me. Maybe I missed it. Oh, there was a really funny while they were training with while he was training with the father, there was some weird cuts back and forth where he's like falling to the mat and it just cuts to him doing nothing, like it's just his face.
Yep.
And then it cuts to the mat again, like, oh, like he's getting beat up, like, falling on the mat, falling on the mat. And it cuts to him, like, he's not even holding his fists up. He's not even sweating. He's just standing there looking at him.
I'm just imagining that they had a camera on Jean-Claude Van Damme and the guy who played Tanaka for like 15 minutes. And they went through several cuts where it's like, all right, I need you to throw him to the ground. I need you to punch. I need you to do that. And just from that 15-minute edit, they were restitching everything to look like that.
Yeah. And you can stand there and do nothing. It's okay. That looked hilarious.
But you know, this movie, it did get like quite a cult following. It got a lot of people liking it.
It did. Josh being one of them.
Josh is one of them.
You're number 2. We know of 2 at least.
Van Damme. This is his favorite movie for himself.
I'm sure Frank Dukes likes it too.
Yeah. One of the presidents says that this is his favorite movie.
Which one?
Trump.
Perfect. That's what are we up to, 5?
Says that this is his favorite movie.
His favorite movie.
It's his favorite movie.
Not even Home Alone 2?
Not even Home Alone 2. This is his favorite movie.
Him and Josh have a lot of comments.
No. Don't do my boy like that. Also, this movie did directly inspire 2 famous video games.
Bloodsport 1 and Bloodsport 2.
Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter.
Oh. Wow, and then Jean-Claude goes ahead and plays Guile?
It came full circle.
Look at that.
But this movie did directly inspire Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter.
Oh yeah, I wrote down that line when they were playing at the arcade. What did he say? Dang, what did he say? He was like, "Aren't you a little old for video games?"
Oh yeah. Aren't you a little young for the Kumite? Aren't you a little old to play video games?
Yeah.
I was like, how old is Jackson? He can't be that old.
He has a beard and he's tall, but I bet he's probably like 27 or something.
I don't mean to diss Jackson, the guy who plays him, but he's got goofy eyes. Every time
he's a goofy looking guy. Overall.
Yeah, but he was a sweetie in the movie, except for the part where he was kind of harassing that girl. I was like, Jackson, you need to drink your respect women juice. She says no, you leave her alone.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that scene because I think if that was in a movie today, it's like, oh, he is a creep, right? And then they'll set him up to be a bully type, a guy. But here, he's the best friend and he's cool.
Even when he first showed up on that bus scene, I remember telling Josh, like, oh, is he going to be like the jackass? Is he going to be the jerk for the movie? And Josh was like, keep watching. And I was like, he's the best friend?
He's the one we fight for at the end.
He's the goose.
He's Goose. Talk to me, Jackson.
No. Angelic. Why couldn't you do that while I recited this is your captain speaking?
I'll go back and re-edit. I'll put that little clip and put it in the beginning. We'll do a redux of that.
Instead, I got made fun of for doing the Top Gun Maverick
I'm
guitar.
sorry.
But yeah, Jackson was the best friend. And even at the end, such a bromance. So he's like, I love you, my friend. And then gave him a kissy.
Anytime, anywhere, any place. I'll be there.
I like that. I love you, my friend. And then he goes, me too.
You don't want to say it back? I said me too.
He ends it with a me too.
He's not ready yet. They're in the same book, but not in the same chapter.
Jackson, after all he did for you, he even brought back your bandana.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you. Speaking of the cult following. I wanted to see, since my favorite movie, Kickboxer, of the Jean-Claude
Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Are you French? Because Van Damme.
I looked it up on our favorite website, Rotten Tomatoes. Bloodsport has a 46%.
46?
Rotten.
Oh!
Audience has 74. So people do like it. Kickboxer has a 36%.
So is it as good as you're telling me?
I think it is. I think it's better. And it has a 64% for fans, for the audience. So a perfect equal 10% drop on each from movie to movie.
Wow.
There's so many scenes for like Kickboxer fans out there. Remember the scene when he's kicking the palm tree and he has to break it down with his leg? Come on, guys.
He cuts a palm tree with his leg?
One of his training regimens is the instructor tells him, you have to kick this tree until you break it. And he's like, how am I supposed to do that? And then he kicks it. It hurts a lot. He kicks it. It hurts a lot. And then one day he's so upset. He tells him, you got to break this tree or else we're done training. and then he's kicking it over and over and over and over, and then he's doing his Jean-Claude scream, like and then it breaks down, and his shin is completely destroyed, like so bloody.
Whoa.
And somehow he's ready for the fight after that.
Kumite, Kumite,
Yeah.
Kumite.
Anyway,
What is I'm here? Coconut palm tree? Is this in Hawaii?
I don't remember. Maybe. Oh wait, he's supposed to be. At some point, they're in Thailand. I don't know if they stay in Thailand.
Oh, I see that here.
Yeah.
They're in Tibet?
Couldn't tell you.
Thone, you saw this movie.
As a child, when I wasn't logging memories, I didn't have a memory card yet. Now I can watch movies and remember them.
I didn't watch Jean-Claude Van Damme movies as a kid. It wasn't until I was a little older, and like I said, they were just on TV.
Oh, well, I told you my mom's a big fan of Jean-Claude, right? So.
Yeah, but you haven't said it on the podcast.
All right, my mom's a big fan of Jean-Claude Van Damme. I saw a lot of his movies as a kid.
So you're very familiar with Van Damme.
Damn. Yes.
He's an accomplished guy.
I was looking up some things behind the scenes. Most of my time was...
Yo, he's in Minions Rise of Gru.
Very serious.
Yeah. He plays a character named Jean-Claude.
Van Darn. It's a kid's movie.
I hate that I'm laughing at that.
Now you gotta see it.
No, I have to see it. Tony, why haven't you seen it? I bet you your mom has seen it.
I bet she did. She uses Facebook too, so I'm sure she knows of the Minions.
It's like, and my boy is in there. My man.
My man.
My damn.
My Van Damme. I wonder how he's voice acting in that movie, because there's a interview I saw. It was just a snippet of a full podcast, and it was just the most hilarious thing I've seen today, because they asked him, this is the Collider podcast, and the title of the video was Jean-Claude Van Damme tells a story behind the scenes of Bloodsport. But the question that they had to find the title, because the question that they asked him was, what's a piece of advice you would give to people who want to go into entertainment? And then he goes on these weird web of stories that don't even fully connect to each other. And then combined with his accent, you don't even really know what he's trying to explain or talk about. Like he starts saying how, this was his first acting gig. And then eventually he had to find more roles. And he also said he got paid $25,000 for Bloodsport. I don't know if that's true, but very little money.
Yeah, he did a lot of work on that movie too. He was also an editor for Bloodsport. He was helping the editing team.
He was talking about how that's weird, because he was saying how in the edit they're like messing up his moves pretty much. He was saying like when he was doing a flying kick or something, it will cut away and it'll like show his face or somebody else's face. And he actually had a complaint about that. But this was part of that piece of advice answer. And then he was saying how he was a bodyguard, and then he was saying how he got another job, whatever, and he never answered the question. And then that was the title of the video. It's very funny.
He just likes to tell stories.
Yeah, it was entertaining to hear. But he was telling like 10 half-finished stories in that one answer.
I wonder if he picked up those skills from Mr. Dukes himself.
Mr. Dukes, it's weird. He seems pretty level-headed, honestly, from that interview I saw.
Dukes?
Yeah, Frank Dukes.
Huh.
So I don't know if he's like a smart con artist, or if he's actually telling the truth, or if he just actually believes his lies. I really don't know.
He's already like established himself where it's like, I don't got to prove myself anymore. People know who I am. I'm Frank Dukes.
Yeah. Owner of ninjutsu, class of the Dukes.
Creator of Dukes Ryu Ninjutsu.
I think he's an official ninja.
He's the one who trained Master Splinter.
That explains a lot. That explains how the turtles can do all these inhuman feats.
Bushido is what
Because
they
Dukes
call
did it
it.
first.
Apparently, Jean-Claude Van Damme was also in Kung Fu Panda 3. That's another movie I have to see.
Oh, I remember that now. Yeah.
I didn't see Kung Fu Panda 3. I only saw 1 and 2.
I haven't seen any.
Really?
And that's with my man Jack Black.
Kung Fu Panda is so funny. I love the first one, and I think the second one is even better than the first one.
I think they're all good from what I hear.
You haven't seen them
From what I hear, I said.
yet. From what you hear from me saying it right now?
No, I've heard talks
Okay.
in the circles I'm in when we last spoke about it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, I heard it's a good trilogy of movies, though.
I need to see it. I did like Kung Fu Panda. It's a good movie. But yeah, it looks like I'm looking at the list of trivia I have here, and I'm seeing right here that some of the physical movements of Jean-Claude in this movie are directly copied in Street Fighter. Some of those high
Oh,
kicks,
nice.
like a lot of that was just taken as info to give to the Street Fighter team to make the characters do that.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty neat how even though this movie, true or not, hoax or dukes, it did inspire a lot of things. Like I'm sure it, like as you said, with all the similarities to Kickboxer, I'm sure they were just like, "Hey, we can make this movie but better."
It inspired itself.
Yeah.
Make another movie. But apparently a worse movie.
According to Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
We'll have to add that to the list to put Kickboxer in at some point.
If you want to have an episode on it, sure. But I would want you to see it just for yourself, at least.
Okay.
To judge for yourself. I haven't seen it recently, but I remember it being good.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was for this movie. It was like, I remember it being good. Which, I'm not saying it's bad, but I just remember it being better. But like I said, it helps when you have friends.
I don't want to call it bad because Josh likes this movie and Donald Trump likes this movie, but I thought the fighting could have been better.
You know what,
The last fight was good.
Yeah, I like all the fights, even the fighting montage. That's my favorite scene is the fighting montage. I like all of that. You just see the mix of people and their styles and stuff. It's really neat. And I think that that's the whole purpose of the movie is they just wanted to see people fight.
I wanted to see people fight too.
Yeah.
But I thought, again, I don't know. I feel like they ended quickly and there wasn't much choreographed fighting until the end.
Yeah.
And I guess they were just saving it for the last fight. That would make sense, but
I did want more fighting in this martial arts film. I feel like there wasn't enough fighting.
Let's talk about that time when he exploded that brick.
The death touch.
He exploded the last brick. 5 bricks down.
I thought for sure that the death touch meant he was going to cut a brick in half.
I thought he was going to break through all the bricks to reach the final one. But in one hit.
Yeah. One punch. 0.12 seconds.
He pulled a real Frank Dukes and did the impossible. And exploded a brick.
That really happened.
Yeah.
he exploded a brick. One
of Frank Dukes' many feats.
It's all real. The death touch. Perfected by Frank Dukes.
And this one was caught on camera, at least.
Performed by Jean-Claude. That's what he learned in his 3 months.
Yeah,
on training.
He taught him the death touch.
Yeah. But you know what, though? This movie, we were having a talk about this the other day, where it really is like a product of the times. And that's what I love about it. It's 80s. It's got that music. It's got that fight style. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Like, it's so classic that's why I struggle to call it, anything like bad or boring or anything like that. I don't think it is, but it's hard to call it good because it's not the best that we've seen from this genre and this time. But it's still like a good and entertaining movie to watch and so fun to watch with friends.
I'm going to have to watch it with friends to change my opinion on this. Let me ask you some questions about what happened in this movie.
Yeah, hit me.
So, Chong Li, he does that finisher move. I guess he goes overboard and then is seen as distasteful or something. Like, did he kill the guy or did he just knock him out?
I think he killed him, right?
Yeah. Well, I would assume so because that's like everyone turned on him. So I would
Yeah,
assume that's like, hey, that's taking it too
dishonor.
far. Yeah. I thought that was allowed. I thought that's always been a thing. Did they not mention that? Like
Yeah,
anything goes?
that wasn't clear. I mean, it said anything goes. It's just kind of like I don't think it was explicitly disallowed to kill somebody, but maybe that's just them expressing that they don't like it when he kills people.
Like, all right, that was really cool, but nah,
You went
don't
too
do it
far.
again. Yeah.
Slap on the wrist.
He has to be dead. Because yeah, that's the only thing that'll get them to turn their backs against him. But he in one of the fights he snapped a guy's leg and you saw the bone protruding out.
Yeah.
That's gruesome.
That's rough. That's yeah, gruesome rough. That's like it's crazy too because it also kind of feels not to nitpick at this film when it's like if you start nitpicking it, the whole movie falls apart. But one of the nitpicks is like they keep talking about how this fight is like brutal and it's dangerous and you could lose your life in here, but it's really only him. Everybody else was fighting normal. Like they were fighting just to fight, just to incapacitate. Nobody was breaking anybody's bones or anything. And he's the only one that's really bringing
Who,
the
Chong Li?
danger. Yeah, bringing the danger to this Kumite.
Yeah, he was snapping necks. That's another thing. He was snapping necks and going for killing blows,
Mhm.
but they only called him out for that one fight.
Because he did it dishonorably.
Mm.
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 All right, I'll allow it. What about these? I don't even know what they are. Were they in the military or were they the CIA
They're
that was
called
supposed to be chasing them down?
they're CID. I think I wrote it down. Criminal Investigation Division.
Why did they get Tweedledee and Tweedledum to go after Frank Dukes?
That's Forrest Whitaker you're talking about.
I know.
Come, child.
Oh, I was trying to think of the line.
The booglet.
I can't. Sorry.
The booglet.
No, I was trying to think of Rogue One.
That's in Rogue One. Booglet.
No. But the line of the trailer.
Oh. Isn't it come, child?
No. Dang. I'm not going to remember.
I'm not
Unless
going
I
to
watch the trailer.
remember. I
It's
didn't
fine.
watch enough Rogue One trailers.
I only saw it once.
I only saw it twice.
When'd you see it the second time? D plus?
Yeah. On a random stormy night.
Oh boy. Nothing better to do.
Nothing better to do. Put on Rogue One.
All right. But yeah, why did they get these dopes to go after Frank Dukes?
I
I bet they couldn't even catch Leia if they wanted to.
Oh, absolutely not. But I feel like okay, if I go in here with plausible believability and say, okay, Frank Dukes, I believe that you did take part in an underground fight club. But this is the part where I'm like, that's totally fictitious. Of the, like, I was such an important guy that the government was hounding me that they needed me for a mission. They needed my help.
That is a funny concept. Yes, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Like they even followed me all the way to Hong Kong and watched me take part in this underground fight, waiting for me to be done so I could go and help them out on this mission.
And they never said why they needed him, why he was so
No,
important.
they were just like,
We can't lose this guy.
we need to find him.
We need to get him. He's too important to the army. I mean the Marines.
It's that he wanted to go on leave because that's the beginning of the movie where he's like training or whatever, and they're like, Dukes, like Captain Dukes, they need to see you. And it's because they're not going to approve his like time off. It's like you're too important of an asset. We can't let you go. He just leaves. Never mind that like if any regular soldier were to do that, they would be charged with AWOL. But it's like he's so important of an asset. that CID agents have to track him down and bring him in.
But here it's just like, whoop, he's slipping away.
He's slipping
Get
away.
him.
You sounded like Goofy.
He's on the boat.
Oh, yuck.
He's a slippery one.
It's Donald and Goofy. They're going after Sora.
They could have at least said, like, we need you for this mission. You've been training for 8 weeks now. You're the only one that we were able to declassify the information. No, none of that. It's just like, we need him. He's too important.
Yeah.
You got to go get him.
We can't let him go.
Yeah. That part I didn't think too much into. Like, yeah, I don't believe that anybody was chasing him down while he was doing these fights. But it is funny that that's a part of the story, just to add to like how cool he is and how lethal he is.
It's funny to keep that in mind that Frank Dukes is saying this is all a true story.
To say based on true events.
Based on a real person.
Which one is the true events?
It's based on a real person. Frank Dukes does exist. Did he do it? We don't know.
That's where it ends. That's what this movie gets right.
This feels like, have you ever seen, I think it's a subreddit or something where it's like / yeah, that happened, and it's usually filled with old Tumblr posts of people who made up stories.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, I'll just say it for the audience sake so that way they know what I'm talking about. But like, it'll be Tumblr posts that are long, and it's something to the gist of, my teacher called me fat, and so I came back with a witty retort, and then everybody in the classroom stood up and clapped, and
Woo!
I walked out.
You got her.
And it's like # yeah, that happened,
and everyone clapped. That's how it ends usually.
And everyone clapped.
Yeah.
This is what that's what this movie feels like. A little
Frank Dukes is the king of that happened.
Of # yeah, that happened.
I don't know. I didn't spend enough time looking into it, but I don't want to doubt the guy if he actually did kick 72 miles per hour.
It knocks somebody out with a punch in 0.12 seconds.
I'm sure he can knock me out. I have no doubt about that.
I have no doubt that Stan Bush did write a killer theme song. Fight to Survive is hype.
Yeah, no doubt.
I have no doubt.
I believe it.
I fight to survive. Kumite.
Yeah, I'm going to ask Josh about that. See.
Kumite.
Josh, Frank Duke Stan.
Josh, you're going to get like an essay long text message of questions from Tony.
You're going to have to send it.
Oh, no. Correspondence.
Yeah. Just to make it needlessly complicated.
Oh my gosh.
No.
But overall, this movie is fun to watch with friends.
I wouldn't know.
The way my first way to absorb that is like saying I wouldn't know what it's like to have friends.
I meant it in all possible sense of the word.
No. Why are we here? I wouldn't know what it's like. To what? To have what? Friends.
Every sense of the phrase, that's how I meant it.
It's kind of like this, that just, not to like make it a downer, but that reminds me of a really sad scene in The Blind Side where the family adopts Michael Orr and they show him his room and he's like, I've never had my own before. And they go, what, your own room? And he goes, no, a bed.
Oh.
It's like, aww, no. But I was thinking that right now. It's fun to watch with friends. I wouldn't know.
Well, what it's like to watch with friends? No, what it's like to have friends.
You watched this with your mom the first time? Is that what happened?
That's family.
Your mom's your friend. Your biggest fan.
You can say that. She's the biggest fan, you said?
She's your biggest fan.
I hope so. It's between me and Jean-Claude Van Damme.
She's Jean-Claude Van Damme's biggest fan. That's confirmed.
Yeah. You know, before we were going to have this conversation on Bloodsport, I really didn't have much to say about it because I thought it was like huh? I thought it'd be a little better, honestly. But then I slowly started comparing it to Kickboxer, and I'm like, yeah, I might have to bring that up, actually. And then as soon as I found out this Frank Duke stuff, I'm like, okay, this is where the story's at.
This is the content.
But yeah, the movie, I think there was room for improvement. I'll leave it at that.
I think there is, but also, they made a good movie for its budget.
What was the budget?
2.3 million.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really low.
And Jean-Claude only got 25,000. Where'd all the rest go?
Went to Frank Dukes. What do you do it?
Frank Duke School of Ninjutsu.
Dukes to you, ninjutsu.
Dukes you?
Dukes to you, ninjutsu.
What do you say? Duke City you?
It's Dukes Ryu.
Oh yeah, Dukes Ryu. Yeah, you're right.
Dukes to you.
You were saying the right name this whole time, right?
Yeah.
I never once caught on.
Wow.
I didn't know what you were saying.
Dukes to you. That's how you pronounce it. Dukes.
Yeah.
If you want to gringo it, it's Dukes Ryu.
You mean Dukes Ryu?
Let's not go there.
I'm letting you know how to say it incorrectly.
Dukes Ryu.
You nailed it correctly. No, yeah, it's Ryu.
I'm sure some of the money also went to Newt Arnold. What did he do? He's the director of this film.
I'm sure he got some money.
He's done Bloodsport and then Hands of a Stranger in 1962. Bloodthirst. This guy was a horror. He didn't come back for a Kickboxer? It looks like no. It looks like he really only did Bloodsport as a sole director, and then, he did this horror film called Hands of a Stranger in the 60s, and Bloodthirst, another black and white horror movie in the 70s, and then that was it. He did Bloodsport.
That was his biggest achievement.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything since.
Well, might as well retire on a high, right? On a good note.
Yeah, I guess.
That's what I'm going to do.
What?
As soon as we do that Shrek episode?
No, we're never doing it then.
The Infinity War episode? It's over.
You're just saying that so we never have to do Infinity War. After I've told you one day we're going to do Infinity War.
I'm just waiting until we could do School of Rock. Speaking of Jack Black.
That's becoming the big one.
I saw it again.
Oh no.
Today.
That means you're all hyped for it.
I'm always hyped for it.
Oh no. Oh no.
But is there anything we missed, Caroline? Or did we do this movie justice?
I think we did this movie justice. We gave as much as it gave us.
I don't think we gave as much as Frank Dukes gave.
I don't think
to the Guinness Book of World Records.
I don't think we gave as much as Jean-Claude Van Damme gave with his performance in this film.
Yeah, during that 3-month training. And
he's like the best thing about this movie. I just think he's so sweet. He's a sweetums.
Yeah, he does have that.
He's got that Captain America vibe. You know, if Captain America was to be made in the 80s, he definitely would have played him.
I was thinking if he was younger and less buff, he could have done Peter Parker because his hair looks like Peter Parker hair.
Oh, wow. You know, it's not far off. I think the only thing that stops him is his accent. That gosh darn Belgian drawl.
Yeah. I'll show you the interview clip after this. You got to hear
I want to see if I can interpret him.
All right.
He should come with real life subtitles.
Okay, now that's messed up.
I did. This is kind of a nested review, but I was thinking about it after watching Thor: Love and Thunder. I really, really wanted subtitles because I could not understand Korg 95% of the time in the movie.
Really?
I don't know.
Maybe he's doing the mumbly thing, and
he is doing the mumbly thing, and it's just like, hey man,
the hammer pulled you off.
Yeah, exactly. With that accent and the way he mumbles it all and stuff, I couldn't understand him. There were several times where he would be like, yeah, you know, and then I can't replicate it.
Get more mumbly. You can replicate.
He'd be like, hey, your girlfriend was killed by Hela. Like, that's what it sounded like.
I read it. I literally read it. I don't read these articles. I saw a headline. I saw a headline saying that
nothing if not honest.
Tom Hardy is the most.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's the hardest actor for Americans to
to
understand.
understand. And I'll tell you what. Yes, because I saw both Venoms, not by choice.
He has an accent in Venom, doesn't he?
He has a Brooklyn accent.
Yeah. Would you call is that an accurate Brooklyn accent?
As real as Tom Hardy could do it, yeah.
Okay.
I hate the way he sounds in that movie. And yeah, Bane, they had to redo
Oh
his
yeah,
dialogue.
he had to redub it.
Yeah. I didn't see Dunkirk yet, but everything I hear about it, no one knows what he says. So I'm going to have to watch it with subtitles.
Another reason to watch Dunkirk.
Yeah.
We need to watch Dunkirk the first 20 minutes with no subtitles and then turn on subtitles and see how clear everything sounds.
We're going to have to write down what we think he says. Throughout the whole movie. That's what
we'll have
do.
The script on one side of the screen and then what he's saying and then what we think he's saying.
Yeah, we'll see how close we can get.
Exactly. It's like Price is Right, but with what he's saying.
Yeah. Without bidding over.
But that's all I got for the movie Bloodsport.
Me too. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh. This is a great conversation, and it's a good time.
And did you see Kickboxer, everyone out there? I recommend it.
If you, yeah. I just support Tony's recommendation. That's what this podcast is about.
All right. Let's say our farewells.
Everybody, thank you so much for listening. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcasting platform, give us a follow, hit the bell icon if you want notifications to pop up, and an honest review if you're a returning listener. If you're hearing us on YouTube, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for notifications as well.
Thanks for listening, guys. Goodbye.
Kumite.